What is up, everyone, and welcome back to NFL Talk and More. I'm your host, Matthew Kettrick, and I'm my friend Lorenzo Miliani here, and we have a new friend to the group, Gideon. Say hi, Gideon. He's right. He is right there, guys. And the amazing thing about Gideon is he is a loyal Pittsburgh Steelers fan, which is a chef's kiss right there. And it is a beautiful day to be talking about some football. Isn't that right, guys?
Yeah.
It is right. And again, this is the second time that I have my new camera here, so you can see everything in the back right there. And we are going to be talking about Najee Harris's future, where the Pittsburgh Steelers declined Najee Harris's fifth-year option. We're going to get into all that now. But before we all start, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more of this, and let's get started. So, to kick it off, Najee Harris is a great running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's not – I would say he's not great, but he's a good running back, and he is great to have on the Pittsburgh Steelers. But the Steelers have declined his fifth-year option, and there was a lot of stuff going around where, Najee Harris is going to leave. Najee Harris is going to stay. Well, we're going to get into that right now, everyone. So kind of to wrap it up, everyone, after they declined the fifth-year option, everyone thought that Najee Harris would leave the Pittsburgh Steelers. But then our general manager, Omar Khan, came out and said this, begin quote, "It was a business decision that we had to make by, I think it was May 2nd. But Najee is awesome to have around here. Love Najee as a player and a person. And just because we didn't pick it up, it doesn't exclude us from doing something with Najee for long term. But it was just one of those things that we had to make a decision on, and we just felt right now it was the right decision for everyone." So a lot of stuff there. I'm kind of getting the feeling that, again, money always comes first for these guys because, again, the NFL is a job. So kind of my take here is that they're not totally excluding Najee Harris out of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's just me. What do you guys think?
Yeah, they're not trying to exclude him because every year since he was drafted in 2021, he's been over 1,000 yards.
I believe the stream is stopped. It's not on my part. It's not working. Okay, guys.
Let me check.
It's live on me, dude. It's live here. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Maybe I have autism, but it's
I think Lorenzo just has that word. We're keeping it PG. I think Lorenzo. Yeah, I'm live here, but yeah, Lorenzo. Any thoughts on?
Personally, I wouldn't name my kid Najee Harris because that's just like why would you name your kid Najee Harris? You know what I mean? That's kind of weird. But anyway, that's just my comments on his name. But
You said so racist, man.
I think that he might by the season. I don't really know. It's tough to say for me.
Listen, he's an okay running back.
Yeah.
He's in that top 5 with all the.
Also, we can talk about how there's not actually that many. There's not that many running backs out there for the market because all the guys out there are usually all 30-year-old veterans or something like that. Najee is not a veteran. If you're gonna get a running back out for free agency, he's only going to be there for about 1 or 2 years. But that's just my take. Again, that's just an opinion. We can also, yeah.
He's been scoring touchdowns. He's scoring 7 to 8 since he's got drafted in 2021 for the Steelers. So he has 20-something touchdowns, which is pretty good, but it's not good enough,
Yeah, for his whole career, he has 22 right now. But again, we're going into the 4th year. He might have a breakout season.
If you Jalen Warren over here, he has 3 touchdowns in one game. That's literally scrape off half of Najee's touchdown rate.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting the. Lorenzo, would you like to say something?
I'd like to comment on his 5 touchdowns that he's had over his career. 5 touchdowns over his whole career, that's kind of bad.
All right, Lorenzo. We're not going to get into that right now. We are going to – come on, man. He didn't have 5 touchdowns. He did not have 5 touchdowns.
In my opinion, I don't think it stacks up to TJ Watt's touchdown rate of 75 touchdowns per game. I mean, that for being a defensive player, I mean, that's fair.
Guessing right now, bro.
All right, so we can also talk about how Omar Khan said, but Najee's awesome to have around here. Love Najee as a player and a person, and just because we didn't pick it up, it doesn't exclude us from doing something with Najee for long term. The key word right there, long term. So Omar Khan, in my opinion, is basically saying that just because we didn't pick it up doesn't mean that it's going to leave the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers would actually make a long-term deal with Najee Harris at the end of the season. I mean, if I had to guess if they would do it, I would say 3, like the most 3 years, maybe like $8 or $10 million a year. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think you could get that. I mean, he's actually, so.
And another thing is, he's not really a fast guy. He's like a
Yeah.
Nice.
Kind of Boyer Wilson.
Yeah, they're like that kid. But he squats like 6 pounds, right?
All right, we're cutting out a little bit. So
Dash in 2021 combine 4.45.
that was an offensive lineman's once. All right, so that kind of, in our opinion, that kind of gives the little thing with Omar Khan about what he thinks about Najee Harris. We could also, we're also going to go over Najee Harris's stats right now. All right, Najee Harris's stats. So in the 2021 NFL season, he had 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 0 fumbles. What do we think about that?
His average in 2021 was a 3.9.
That's not bad. That's not bad, is it?
Not bad. And it's still the same thing up to today.
Yeah.
Still the same. He's just in 4.1 now.
He is a 4.1. And Lorenzo, any thoughts on that season at all? Any thoughts on that season? We have 4 people watching.
I agree. Definitely, I agree. I mean, like, agreeing is kind of my cup of tea. You know, I love agreeing.
But as a why?
All right, now we can also we're going to go to the 2022 NFL season. We have 5 people watching. Hello, wherever you are. We can also say for the 2022 NFL season, Najee Harris had 1,034 yards, 7 touchdowns, and he averaged a 3.8, and he had 2 fumbles. My opinion on that, I think maybe he had a little. I think he had a little bit of a down year because he
He had bigger gaps that season.
Yeah, but he went down almost 200 yards for his rushing game that year, which kind of surprised me a little bit. I think that's not what the Pittsburgh Steelers actually want, because the Pittsburgh Steelers are a pro-run football league. I don't think that's the Steelers really want at that team. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think the same thing. Because when you're in pro football, you're a pro. You want big game and big stuff.
Lorenzo?
Let's compare him to Christian McCaffrey.
All right, Christian McGee. All right, Lorenzo, any thoughts on that year?
I mean, I know that year he was a pretty good golfer. I mean, like Mr. Kettrick, very good golfer. Anyway, let's continue on to him as a running back. So I'd actually say I feel like this year he definitely can be a top 5 running back. I think you got it.
All right. For the last and final part of these stats, which is not the final because Najee Harris has to play this year, but besides that, we have one more year for Najee Harris' stats, which was the 2023 NFL season. Najee Harris had an average of 3.9, 3,000 to – oh, wait, that's the career. He did not have 3,000 yards. That is the career. He did not have 3,000 yards. Najee Harris averaged a 4.1 with 1,035 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 2 fumbles. I think that was kind of a little bounce back from the other bad year because, again, the 1,035, that's literally one more yard than he got last year. But at the same time, 8 touchdowns, that's another touchdown than 7 from last year. And, again, running backs are also going to fumble too, so – I'm not really worried about the 2 fumbles at all. But we can also say that he actually went up from a 3.8 and a 3.9 to a 4.1 major jump there for Najee Harris. What do you guys think? Gideon?
What?
What's your opinion on that year? Because, he had a major jump from 3.8 to 4.1 for his average.
4.1. We got a better line.
We did. We can also say we have we had Broderick Jones there too.
There's birds and stuff, but I feel like Najee was a little slow to get to holes sometimes.
Yeah.
Because where he gets.
He's not built like these running backs these days. He's not built like that kind of back. You know what I mean? He's not built like that kind of back.
Yeah, I know.
Lorenzo?
Yeah, I don't think his back is built like that kind of backy.
You're so stupid.
So that's mine. I don't think his back is back.
So, all right, Lorenzo. So, again, those are the totals for the 3 years of Najee Harris. And so what are our takeaways from Najee Harris's 3-year stats this year?
Takeaways?
Yeah, what do we think about his stats for these past 3 years, Gideon?
I feel like they're in that top 10 range of running back.
I agree.
Because over here, Christian McCaffrey has 1,500 yards from going to a bad team to a better team.
Lorenzo is asleep.
It's not cool yet.
All right, I don't think Lorenzo has an opinion. All right, so my personal takeaway is I think that Najee Harris actually had a major jump that following year about his stats, his touchdowns, his average. Although I don't think it was completely big. I think that it was I think that it was decent for a rookie, but again, I think that Najee Harris is doing absolutely spectacular for a rookie in the NFL. Huh? Dude, he's actually trimmed down a lot. Have you seen him? He actually lost a lot of pounds. And Lorenzo is doing stuff. All right. So those are our takeaways for Najee Harris's stats. We're going to get into Najee Harris with the media. We all know that Najee Harris absolutely hates the media like we all hate the Dallas Cowboys and the Cleveland Browns. Ew. Not Najee.
And the Patriots.
Oh, yeah. Patriots suck. The Browns suck. And the Cowboys suck. And Tom Brady is a cheating loser.
He's a fat loser. And the goat is actually Eli Manning.
Yep.
Buddy, the Patriots still have Tom Brady, freaking Julian Edelman, Gronkowski, bro.
So we all know that Najee Harris absolutely hates the media. He doesn't even talk to them all the time. But actually, very, very recently, Najee Harris has actually spoke to the media for once. that's as rare as the Cowboys winning a playoff game because they never do. But here's what Najee Harris had to say. Feeling good. We did good this offseason. I mean, obviously, we picked up our 2 quarterbacks, so we're excited about it. We think we're going to have a lot of good things happening this year. My takeaway on that, I don't really see anything exciting about this quote that Najee Harris said. Again, you can tell that he's not super pumped and that he doesn't like the media, but Najee Harris actually coming out and saying stuff does bring a smile to my face. And I'm actually getting I'm starting to get the feeling that Najee Harris is actually liking our quarterback situation. And by saying that there's going to be a lot of good things happening this year, I think that Najee Harris actually likes the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that he really wants to be on there. But that's me. Guys, your opinions?
Well, one thing why he's not like a media guy and doesn't talk to the media a lot is because he's focused in the game all the time.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Yeah. Lorenzo?
Yeah, honestly. I'd like to shout out to the other 2 across the screen. Happy birthday. Good job for being loyal. Like to shout out to the other 2 viewers on the stream right now.
That's literally me, bro.
Never mind.
Lorenzo, are you on the stream too? Hey, we have 3 people. We have another person watching. And I'm not on the stream, dude. So that's another person. And hey, happy birthday, all right? Happy birthday.
Birthday.
If you want to shout out.
If it is.
If you want to shout out, then donate $1. I'm just kidding. Don't donate anything. We don't need money. We're just doing this for fun. Please do not donate. All right. We love you all. Don't donate, please. It just do not donate on the stream because we don't want money. We just want to make people happy. All right. You want to talk about is
Dude, who donated $100?
Oh my God, no.
Oh my.
All right. We're also. So, do you guys want to get into the drum roll, please? Scoring. So in the 2022 NFL season, Najee Harris had 1 rushing touchdown. That's pretty bad. Honestly, listen, man.
He was hyped. He was breaking that down.
Yeah, I agree, man. Lorenzo, anything on that? Why is all right? So in the in the 2023 NFL season, Najee Harris had 4 rushing touchdowns. So a big leap there, in my opinion, because that is 3 more. Lorenzo, are you good over there? All right. Najee Harris had a big leap that year. He had 3 more touchdowns than he did before because he started off with 1 and then he got 4. Although he did not have any reception touchdowns, nor did he ever. Maybe he'll have one this year. But all right, Lorenzo's okay. So that basically wraps the Najee Harris section up. We only have a couple more sections to talk about, which is who do we think? I mean, what do we think about Jaylen Warren? Do we think that Warren is going to pass Najee? Like, do we think? Like, our question is, will Jaylen Warren after this year be the RB1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers? What do we guys think?
I feel like he will because he's really fast and strong. He has really good blocks and he's just it's like that, you know?
Yeah, I find that Jalen Waddle will actually be the running back.
It's Jaylen Warren, you stupid.
Or Jalen Hurts. I don't think that you're starting running back because I mean, as we could see on the 49ers, he didn't do too well on the 49ers.
All right. Now, I mean, technically these days, like running backs are like, because back then running backs were like big and bruising, and now these days running backs are like they're tinier. They're more fast. They're more strong. But again, if you do think about it, the Pittsburgh Steelers never, or besides the Super Bowl where they beat the Cardinals in 2008, besides that, the Pittsburgh Steelers have never won a Super Bowl without a big bruising back. If you look back to the 70s Steelers, you have Franco Harris where they beat Dallas Cowgirls and whatnot. But then when you look to the Seahawks, Jerome Bettis, the bus. And then when they versed the Cardinals, they didn't have a great running back back then, but it's going to be hard to have a lot of great running backs as a team. Like, you're not going to have a whole section of them, but the Pittsburgh Steelers had two. So that's my opinion. Guinean?
My bad, gang. I don't know what happened, but what? Sorry.
We're talking about how the Pittsburgh Steelers have never won a Super Bowl without a big bruising back.
Yeah. They had to work as a team.
Lorenzo? Oh, yeah.
They scored touchdowns, offense, and defense. And
Yeah, true.
Cardinals in 2001.
Yeah, like
I think they got some. You gotta be chunky, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be like.
Yeah.
The only way he needs to shake the ground when you like hear it coming, like.
all right. But yeah, so we can also kind of say that Jalen Warren's probably, I mean, Najee and Warren are both on their last year, so they're probably not going to get both of them. But I think they should get both of them. That's just me. But realistically, they're probably only going to take one. But kind of to wrap this up, Guinean, if you were the Pittsburgh Steelers and you had to take a running back, would you take Najee Harris or Jalen Warren?
Jalen Warren.
Why would you take Jalen Warren?
Because he's faster and he blocks better, in my opinion.
He blocks better? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going, all right, okay. So you're going with Jalen Warren, right?
Yeah.
All right, Lorenzo, who are you going with, Najee or Warren, if you had to pick one?
I mean, personally, I think it'd be Jalen Warren or Jalen Hurts or whatever his name is. Because I think he's good, can be fast enough. And I think Najee Harris looks like cheeks. Guys, visit Rachel Tahan 7074 on YouTube. All right, it's the Tahan's channel. You gotta subscribe and like.
I'm a patron for that channel. I did subscribe. All right. Now, another question is will it be temporary or will it be forever? Do we think, because Jalen Warren is only, 25 years old, 26, 25? Do we think that Jalen Warren will possibly be the future running back one until he retires with the Pittsburgh Steelers? Like, do we think Jalen Warren will be there for a Super Bowl? Like, what do we think?
I think he'll be there for a Super Bowl. I don't think they'll give up on it.
In a Super Bowl ever again.
Kahan, it seems like you're a big Jalen Warren guy.
Yeah.
And honestly, I can 100% agree on that. I love Jalen Warren. I love Jalen Warren as a player, and I also love Najee. I can't pick one. But yeah, to Lorenzo, what are you?
I'm drinking water.
No, you're not. You're like this with the water, bro. What are you doing? All right, whatever.
I'm not doing anything. Buddy.
Now we could also say there's kind of two sides we could put with this. We could also say that the NFL these days, right? Like, you usually want that really small running back that's insanely fast. But the Pittsburgh Steelers always had a bruising back. So, Tahan, what do we think the Steelers are going to go with?
So what the heck? What is that?
Tahan, what do we think the Steelers are going to go with?
Give
Jalen Warren.
Okay. Lorenzo, what do we think?
I mean, I think that, like, so you know what I mean? Like, so that's basically, yeah, so, like,
Yo, let's stop fooling around, guys.
Dude,
Hey, Brandon.
I just got out of the pool.
There's Braden. Braden joined. Oh yeah, we've been live for like 25 minutes.
Yeah, I took a shower.
How was your shower, Braden? How was the shower?
I just got out of the pool.
What's a pool?
I don't know.
Well, Braden, while you're on here, we're talking about Najee Harris. So do you think that the future running back will be Jalen Warren or Najee Harris?
So
Well-
I think that it just depends on how the Steelers use him, and depends on how good he's gonna show. Because Najee Harris, he hasn't had any of those explosive years, but he's just a good physical back at the goal line. I don't know why they wouldn't trade him.
We're all saying Jalen Warren.
Elusive back, kind of like a Tony Pollard
Yeah.
way.
We're all saying
But I think
yeah.
they're gonna keep both.
Steelers are really cheap. Pittsburgh Steelers are really cheap. I don't know if they can keep both. We're all going Jalen Warren's side, so maybe we could have a little debate.
I'm going Najee though. Try to pick. I think
Tahan is strongly going Jalen. So what do you guys think about that?
Najee looks like Jalen Warren. He has a round head.
Do that.
All right, starting to get a little off track. Now we are going to make.
I think I'm gonna buy myself a gold chain. Get some more drip.
Now we're going to make our final thoughts about what is going to happen. Lorenzo, you're going to go first, all right, buddy? Because we want to hear your opinion first, so we don't have to hear it again. Do you think
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's little.
you're talking about Jalen Waddle on the 49ers, okay?
What?
Oh, all right.
All right. No. Your final thought, Lorenzo, do you think the Pittsburgh Steelers will pick up Najee Harris's contract, or will they drop it and keep Jalen Warren? What do you think, Lorenzo?
I mean, the Steelers, they always make dumb decisions, so I think they're just going to be Najee dust and just be like, frick you, dude. Because, you know, no offense, guys, but we all know.
Lorenzo. Frick is not a nice word.
Brayden, we don't freaking want to see the bicep. Like, what? I'm doing nothing, man.
Braden's one of those kids. Yo, so if you didn't know, Braden is one of those kids that like just got in the gym, so he's trying to show off his biceps and stuff. You know.
Brayden flexing the mirror. Yeah, me.
Yeah, he's trying to flex his little 4-pack.
All right. All right, Gideon, do you think that Najee Harris will stay, or will Najee Harris leave and Jalen Warren will be RB1? What do you think?
I feel like they will keep him. Like, what's that one thing where they like hold him, but they don't use him ever? That's where it's gonna be.
The free agency?
Yeah.
But do you think Najee Harris will leave, or will he stay and Jalen Warren will be RB1? Like, what do you think?
I feel like he'll leave.
He'll leave. All right. Braden, do you think Najee Harris will stay on the Pittsburgh Steelers, or will he leave and Jalen Warren will be RB1?
Mr. 4-pack.
I want to fearless Brayden. Oh my.
I think they're gonna keep both of them. That's my prediction. I mean, I just think they're both. I think they're both so different. I think that the Steelers are just gonna keep both, and because like they both serve a purpose, so I just don't think they get rid of them.
Okay. Yeah, and my final opinion, it's so tough. I mean, it's so tough if they're going to pay Najee or not. Jalen Warren is one of those players on the Steelers that I know they're going to keep because the Pittsburgh Steelers have hinted out that they really like Warren. And again, I really think they're going to keep. I mean, you know what? I love Najee, but I think he's going to leave. I would want him to stay, but I just think he's going to leave because the Pittsburgh Steelers are insanely cheap, like Mr. Krabs. But it's not all as bad if you look at it because Jaylen Warren, right? Like, Jaylen Warren is one of those few running backs in the NFL who was insanely slept on. But Jaylen Warren, when he is out of that, like, when Jaylen Warren is out of that backfield, he is absolutely gone and he is in the end zone. That's the player that Jaylen Warren is. And he doesn't get a lot of that opportunity. Jaylen Warren doesn't get a lot of that opportunity because the Steelers' O-line sucked. I mean, now it's better, but it sucked back then. But if you look at the awful poverty franchise Cleveland Browns highlights with the Pittsburgh Steelers, when Jaylen Warren is out of the backfield, he's absolutely gone. Did you see the 79-yard touchdown that Jaylen Warren had? That is when he was out of the backfield. Like, that's when there's good blocking. That's why I think that Jaylen Warren will stay and Najee Harris will leave the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Jaylen Warren will be RB1.
I would like to say that I will be dipping and resigning for right now. So I just have to say, guys, have a good rest of the podcast.
All right.
Thank you and good morning.
Gideon, do you have to go too?
I think so, yeah.
All right. See you guys. Braden, stay for a little bit. I want to talk to you real quick.
Thanks.
I'll try.
Thanks for having me.
I
will see you in the next one.
See you.
Enjoy the rest
Yep,
of
next
your
weekend. Wait, Braden, you have to go too?
Subscribe to all the channels.
Braden, you have to go too?
Oh, no, not yet.
All right. Well, since Braden just got here, we're going to talk about what his opinion is on Najee Harris. I just said my opinion about. I mean, we'll talk about that at the end. But Braden, we can go over it. Do you want to go over the stats or just general? Like, what do you want to do?
I'll just share an opinion.
Yeah,
I
we can.
think,
Wait, we'll do the Omar Khan quote real quick. Since Braden just got here, we're gonna say what we said in the beginning when they declined Najee Harris's fifth-year option. Everyone thought that Najee Harris would leave the Pittsburgh Steelers when Omar Khan came out and said this, our general manager for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was a business decision that we had to make by, I think it was May 2nd. But Najee is awesome to have around here. Love Najee as a player and a person, and just because we didn't pick it up, it doesn't exclude us from doing something with Najee for long term. But it was just one of those things that we had to make a decision on, and we just felt right now that was the right decision for everyone. So, Brandon, what do you think about that?
So I think they're going to extend him because I think Najee's done really good for the organization. I mean, I've seen because the Steelers signed Roquan Smith, they signed a bunch of defensive players. They signed Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. I think you just need to give him a year to sign him back. He's just a good back in general, but it is a business decision.
I agree.
The whole entire NFL is a business decision.
The NFL is a job.
Mark my words. Najee Harris will sign back.
I can see that. I mean, I know I'm saying that Jaylen Warren is RB1, but honestly, I'm really not sure. I mean, the only thing that I get stuck on. All right.
I'm happy I got into the podcast a little. Have a
Yep.
great day, guys.
And hey, wait. Why don't you tell everyone what you did with Penn State?
You said it yesterday.
Yeah, but you weren't here. You gotta tell them, dude. You gotta tell them real deal.
Oh, so I went to Penn State for this camp, and I met Mr. Micah Parsons from the Cowboys. Personally, I got a picture with them. I got an autograph picture. It was an awesome time there, and was thankful.
Really happy for you. Hey, wait, where's the signed picture? Let's see it. Let's see the signed picture.
I don't have it on there now.
Oh, all right then. Yeah, I mean, hey, have a rest of your day. And hey, for Braden, happy birthday to Braden. He is turning 53, big 5-3. Let's say happy birthday to Braden. How do you feel about being?
Guys, thank you.
How do you feel about being
Big
53.
milestone. Well, hey, I'll see everybody later.
Yep.
Have a nice rest of your day.
Next
Go
week.
Cowboys.
Next week. All right, so everyone is gone. My final takes, honestly. I really want to say that Jaylen Warren is going to be RB1, but, it's one of those things that I really think about where it's going to be like Jaylen Warren is going to be RB1, but it's not going to be good because Jaylen Warren is not meant to be a running back 1. He's meant to be an RB2. He hasn't had that much playing time yet. Najee Harris has the experience of being an RB1. He knows what it's about. So, oh, man, it's really hard to say. I see potential in Najee Harris staying, although I really don't see it. But I really hope he stays. Like, it's kind of with George Pickens, right? George Pickens and Najee are basically the same thing for me. I love them both. It's just so hard if they're going to stay or not. It's just a business decision, Najee Harris wants less money than the Pittsburgh Steelers might pick him up. I really don't. I love Najee Harris so much. I just really don't see him staying on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know why. If he does stay on the Pittsburgh Steelers, let's just say he does sign, then I would absolutely love that. Najee Harris is a great player. I would love to see Najee Harris on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do I think it will happen? I'm not saying no. I'm really not sure if he's going to stay. If I had to guess, it would be RB1 next year. I would probably guess it. Guess it might be Jaylen Warren. I don't know. But, Warren's an RB2. He's not really, out there. But at the same time, who are you going to get? Who are you going to get? I would love to see Najee stay, but it's so hard to say if he will. Man. Everything's just an opinion. But I really could see Najee staying. I could. Again, like Omar Khan said, it's a business decision. It depends. This guy wants this. Will you accept what he wants? It's all about that. So my final opinion. My final opinion. You want to know my final opinion? I don't know. I don't have them. Because one side I'm leaning to Jaylen Warren being RB1, but at the same time, he's an RB. Who recognizes Jaylen Warren? He's good, but who recognizes him? He's an RB2. That's one side of me. And then the other side is that Najee Harris will actually stay on the Pittsburgh Steelers and have a good career with them. So I can't decide. I really cannot decide. If I had to take a guess, who would be a running back on the Pittsburgh, RB1 next year on the Pittsburgh Steelers? I couldn't tell you. So that is my final take. I hope you guys loved this stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's my final opinion. I don't know who's staying. I don't. We're gonna have to wait and see. Do I 60 or 70% know who's staying? No. It can go both ways. It can go absolutely both ways. I do not have an opinion. We're just going to have to wait and see. But thank you guys so much for sticking around with me. We will be back next weekend talking about Isaiah Pacheco. Wrong person. We are going to be talking about who's going to pick up Xavier Worthy, not Isaiah Pacheco. I get those two mixed up. We're going to be talking about Xavier Worthy, the wide receiver that the Kansas City Chiefs picked up. Does this mean another Super Bowl for Patrick Mahomes? Is this going to be a three-peat with Xavier Worthy? Is it going to be a major jump with Travis Kelce and Xavier Worthy with Patrick Mahomes? That is just absolutely insane. Who let them do that? I don't know. We'll get to it. We'll get to it next weekend. Again, Saturday or Sunday. Expect a podcast Saturday or Sunday. Turn on that bell so you know when we're on. And if it's not Saturday or Sunday, or if it's not Saturday or Sunday, then it will be Monday. And if no one's on Monday, then it's just me. But if no one is on Monday, then I'm going to do my little Steeler short thing But yeah, go Steelers. Hope to see you guys on the weekend, and good stream. Goodbye for now.